Hey everyone, it's me Aaron, and this is the continuing coverage of ThorgE3 2019, and this was the video I was dreading making the most. Not because it's Bethesda, and over the last year I developed a very interesting relationship with Bethesda. No, it's because I only have two title cards. I have the "This is great" title card and the "What the hell is this" title card. And I don't know at this moment which of those two I'm going to have to use. Because Bethesda's press conference, it's not even like it was just okay. If it was just okay, I could decide on which of those two I want to use. No. I've heard people saying that Bethesda had the worst conference of the year, or they had the worst conference of all time. They did not. They did not have the worst one of the year. You will see me talk about the worst one of the year. However, Bethesda had the worst announcements of the year. They had the worst moments of the year. But then on the other side of that spectrum, they also had some really great stuff to show off this year. They had some stuff here that actually got me really excited and got me really hyped up. And I know some people are going to come in here and say, well, yeah, but all the stuff that they showed off that was great, it's not stuff that they're making. It's just stuff that they're publishing. It's not the actual stuff that Bethesda Studios is making. Yes, I know, but that was still part of their show, and I'm judging their show, so it counts. So yeah, I have no idea if I'm gonna come down on the light side or the dark side on this one, but you guys know, because you clicked on the title card. You guys are living in the future from me. You know what I decide to end up doing. I don't know what I decide to end up doing. So what you're really here to see isn't so much me talking about Bethesda's E3 conference, because let's be real, who wants to hear anyone talk about Bethesda's E3 conference? No, you're here to experience the journey of one man trying to battle his own personal demons as he tries to make peace with whether or not this actually was good enough for me to be happy with it, or whether or not the massive piles of crap that they showed off actually are going to win in the end. And if you guys think that what I just did there sounded incredibly pompous and douchey and arrogant and like I was hyping up absolutely nothing and I was trying to make this seem like a bigger deal when there was really nothing here to this video other than someone just talking about video games, Todd Howard started out tonight's evening by coming out there to talk about the last year of Bethesda.
Boo this man!
So, if you were with us last year on our old channel when we had our E3 coverage over there, you know that at Bethesda's conference last year when Todd Howard came out and started talking about Fallout 76 and all the other projects that they were working on, I didn't dive all the way into the Kool-Aid, but I took a couple sips of it. I looked at it and went, oh, is that red Kool-Aid? Oh, I'll drink some red Kool-Aid. All right, cool, yeah. All right, you know, this Kool-Aid actually tastes pretty all right. There's another guy over there giving a standing ovation to the Kool-Aid, and I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah, okay, this doesn't seem like bad Kool-Aid over here. I'm gonna check this out. I ain't going anywhere near that Kool-Aid this year. He had a lot of explaining to do. And I don't feel like he did. I've seen a lot of people out there saying that, oh, no, you know what? He addressed some of the problems. Did he? Did he really? He came out there and he said, we received some well-deserved criticism. There was a lawsuit, Todd. You ship people faulty items. You exposed people's private information. You gave out people's home addresses and credit card info. You nearly killed my PlayStation, you ass. No, that is not well-deserved criticism. Those are massive problems. And he even started off with a joke about, oh, considering some of that excitement, I'm shocked some of you are still here. See, it's the big corporate guy, and he's making light of the bad situation that they're in. Oh, he's showing that he acknowledges it, and he's trying to take it all in stride. Oh, isn't that charming? Yeah, here's the problem. He did that exact same thing last year. Last year when he came out and talked about Fallout 76, he came out and he said, I understand that our games have a few bugs in it. No, it's true. I read on the internet, and the crowd laughed, and they laughed at it. You can't do the I'm going to make a joke about how bad we are 2 years in a row thing. You do that once to acknowledge the problems. We all kind of laugh because we all know it's true. And then you spend that year trying to fix those problems. You don't come in here. God, I am peeking out this audio. I apologize to everyone who is wearing headphones right now. I'm going to try and have all my anger at a reasonable level now. But you don't come in here and you make a joke about how screwed up our games are, and then you come out here next year and make jokes about how screwed up your games are. You make the joke about how screwed up your games are, then you spend the entirety of the next year trying to fix the screw-ups. And instead, they've just been making more screw-ups. And then they came out there, they acknowledged, yeah, okay, we had problems. That's not an apology. I need an actual apology. I needed to hear the words, I'm sorry. Didn't hear that. We actually, on Twitch, had a bingo card going for E3. And one of the things on my bingo card was Bethesda apologizes. And I had people going, does that count as the Bethesda apologizes? Like, nope. I need actual, I am sorry. Never got that. But after he did that, after he came out there and he talked about this and he said, yes, okay, we received well-deserved criticism, they then went back to talking about Fallout 76 like the entirety of the last year had not happened. They went back to talking about this thing like there had never been any problems with this. They went back to talking about this thing like they were still trying to amp this up and hype this up and tell everybody how absolutely wonderful and amazing this thing was. And I just looked at like, what reality am I in right now? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Doesn't anyone else see this? And part of what was so frustrating, yes, it was the crowd. And I have seen many other people talking about the crowds there. It even became a meme of the Bethesda employee, nothing. Guy in the audience, and then they just post like a clip of someone screaming and wailing and hollering. Yeah, I don't want to come in here and say they were paid off. I don't want to say that they were plants. I don't want to come in here and accuse anybody of anything like that. But that applause was so over the top for such nothing. I can't blame everyone else out there for coming to that conclusion. I cannot come in here and defend this when I see other people going, no, they had to have paid them off. I don't have any proof of that, so I'm not going to come in here and say that, but all signs are pointing to yes on this one. I'll be honest with you, this is what I think. I don't know this for a fact. I'm not going to come in here and accuse them of doing this, but this is really what it looks like, and I've worked in show business before. I know how this stuff goes. I know that oftentimes you will either have a plant in the audience, someone who is there to get the applause rolling, because if everybody sees someone else applauding, then they'll all join in and start applauding as well. I used to work in stand-up comedy clubs, and there would always be that one guy who was a club employee who their job was to give fake laughter, so that way it would encourage all the other people in the audience to give out laughter as well. That's something that actually works. That's why sitcoms have laugh tracks in there, if that wasn't obvious. But you just kept seeing people screaming and cheering with so much joy, and it was at nothing. There was a guy who walked out, got applauded, was about to start talking, and then had to stop before he could start talking again because people started applauding him again. They didn't even do anything and they got applause. So at first, I'll be honest with you, I thought, oh my God, is Bethesda like a cult? Is this like one of those things where it doesn't matter what the leader ends up doing, they must be right at all times? Or are there plants? Are there Bethesda employees out there in the audience who are joining in on this, who are doing this on purpose? And then as I was going back and I was rewatching this, because yes, I had to rewatch all of these to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But as I was rewatching this, anytime that it cut to a crowd shot, there were 4 guys on the front row giving standing ovations to everything. Everything got standing ovations from just those 4 guys. I'll have a couple clips of it right in here to let you guys know what I'm talking about. It would just be them. That would be it. And then there was one other moment in which they cut to someone going, woo! And they were in a Fallout uniform, like a full-on Fallout uniform. And here's the thing. When they cut to that guy, I was like, this is a big audience. And there was a big woo that just got let out. And you just happened to have the camera already on the guy who gave out that big woo. Yeah, I'm not going to say that they paid them off. I'm not going to say they were Bethesda employees there in the crowd, but they at least went up to these people and went, hey man, we're gonna need you to give some extra energy. Which, I mean, hey man, this is a guy who came here dressed in a Fallout costume. It wouldn't take much to tell that guy, we're gonna need you to give some extra energy on this thing, because we're gonna cut to you every now and again. That's another thing that people do. It's not always, the plants that are in audiences, they don't always have to be employees. They don't have to be people that are paid off. Sometimes it's just regular audience members who you went up to beforehand, just went, hey man, can you give a little extra energy out there? We're relying on you, man. And a lot of times that actually works. So yeah, something happened here. The fact that they had that camera just ready on the guy who was giving out a woo, the fact that they knew to have the camera on those 4 guys giving the standing ovations, they knew what was up. They knew that those guys were there for a purpose.
Hey, human NPCs are coming to Fallout 76.
So yeah, something was up with that. And oh man, if a story came out that they were indeed paying these guys off, I would not be shocked. I wouldn't be. But let's get back to Fallout 76. Yes, if you guys did not watch our review that we did of Fallout 76, it is the only thing in my life I have ever given a 1 to. Not just of games. We have another channel where we review movies all the time. I've never even given a movie a 1. I've gotten down to a 1.5, I think is the lowest I've ever gotten on anything. I gave Fallout 76 a 1 because it was just so boring. It was so broken. Almost everything that could be bugged was bugged. But I was still going to give it like a 3. I was still going to give it a 3 because I could see potential for this to possibly be fixed later on. And then it crashed my entire PlayStation, like hard crash. Screen went black. I could not do anything in there. I had to unplug, replug, turn on, turn off until finally it came back to life. And I'll be real with you guys, it still never fully recovered. It still gets a little bit glitchy every now and again, and I did not have that problem beforehand, so yeah, I gave it a 1. But they came in here and talked about this thing like it was the biggest success in the world. They talked about like that quote-unquote well-deserved criticism didn't happen. Like everyone accepted what a huge, massive success Fallout 76 was, and the things that they were talking about in here were things that I either knew weren't true or they were things that I knew existed in other games. Like when they came in and said, we have the best players in the world, the kindest, best players. We have players who would leave water out for new players and wave hello to each other. I just kept thinking, I don't play a lot of multiplayer online games, but literally every multiplayer online game I play has those people who wave hello to you and say nice things to you. Yes, there are also the dirtbags. We know there are the dirtbags out there. But every game is going to have the nice people in there as well. And they were talking about how like, oh yeah, you don't go around just killing each other in there. I have seen videos online of people who found ways to bug out the no combat thing in there in order to kill other players. I've seen entire video series dedicated to that. And as for the, oh, you leave water out for new players. You know what they also do for new players? They found a way to launch the nukes at the starting point of the game. Because in this game, if you launch a nuke at an area, it summons out a giant level 99 dragon that is almost impossible to defeat. They found a way to launch that at the starting point of the game, and a lot of people have just been doing that. They've just been messing with the new players by launching the nukes right there at the starting point of the game. These are all actual stories that have come out. And again, I know you might be saying, well, those are the negative situations, and don't come in here and pretend like that's everyone in the game. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend like that's everyone in the game, but they're pretending like those people just don't exist, or like we don't know those people exist. But this was my favorite. Oh, this was my favorite. They announced that there was going to be, finally, after all this time, NPCs with quest lines in Fallout 76. Oh my goodness. Oh, sweet, glorious, rapturous day. Can you imagine NPCs in Fallout 76? And one of my favorite things to do, this entire E3 has been to watch streamers who did not know that that wasn't a thing in Fallout 76, who didn't know there were not NPCs and there were not quest lines to find with NPCs, and there were not dialogue trees, and there were not interactions with other characters that you could have in that game, and watching them listen to that announcement and going, wait, what? Then what the hell are you doing in the game? Yes, exactly.
This game didn't have human NPCs? And now there's a trailer for it? What?
And the crowd burst into applause, and all I could think of was this old Eddie Murphy joke, in which he's talking about something in relationships that I won't go into, but he's talking about how if you give a starving man a cracker, it will be the greatest thing he's ever eaten. He will chew that down, wipe his lips and go, was that saltine? Oh my goodness, oh, that's so good. That's what they did here. They starved the Fallout 76 players of anything. And then they gave them that one saltine cracker. And oh my goodness, it was like the second coming of Fallout Jesus. It was like the return of everything we could possibly want, even though in reality it was the bare minimum of what you could give someone in a video game. That is how bad the Fallout 76 audience has been screwed over by Bethesda. They are reacting to the announcement of being given the bare minimum like that crazy person in Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know the one I'm talking about, the one who just started cheering so hard they were foaming at the mouth and fainted? Yeah, people were doing that over a saltine cracker.
That's right. That's right. Human NPCs are coming to Fallout 76.
And to answer the question that all those streamers had of what the hell have you been doing in this game, you basically just run around and interact with other players. That's kind of it, you know, basically what you could do in any online game except without the purpose that other online games have. It's you just run around with other people, and they kept congratulating the audience, which is another trick that a lot of swindlers like to use, where they make you, the audience, feel so big and important, like, yes, you did this, you, the wonderful people at home, and then you just sit there and go, me? I'm the wonderful person at home? I did these things? Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for saying such a nice thing about me. Yes, I did this. And to the people at home who did ensure the survival of Fallout 76 by continuing to play this thing, I would like to say, yes, it is up to you. You are the ones who made this happen. So why did you pay Bethesda? Why is Bethesda not paying you? You're the ones who made their game into something. I remember there was a story that came out about how boring Fallout 76 was, that someone maxed out their character, got their stats all the way up, and in that game you cannot fight other players unless they agree to fight you back. So what he did is he went and he posted on a message board, he went, listen, I've been playing this thing forever, but yeah, this thing is boring and there is nothing to do in here. I'm going to go to this location in the game, and I am going to be the game's final boss. If you want an actual challenge in the game, if you want something to do in this game after you have completed the whatever the hell there is for a main quest line, which all the main quests in this game are you literally just walk into a room, find a computer, sit at the computer, read what's on the computer, leave and go to the next computer. That is it. There is nothing to do in this goddamn game. But he says if you want something to do as your end goal, as the final challenge, I will be the game's final boss. That's a really cool thing that this guy did in order to try and liven up this game, but that doesn't get Bethesda applause. That is not a positive for Bethesda. Bethesda should hire this guy. Bethesda should go to that guy and go, thank you for trying to make our game playable in one way, shape, or form. Here, I'll just buy your copy of Fallout 76. Here, how much did you spend on that? Did you get the collector's edition of that? Okay, here's the amount of money that you spend on this. There, you're providing other people with a thing to do in here. That's our way of saying thank you for that. Yeah, you do not get bonus points, Bethesda, because other people have been saving your ass after they gave you 60 bucks. But now we come to the big announcement. Oh, the big announcement. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the big announcement is that they are adding a Battle Royale to Fallout 76. Yes. Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? Do you believe in miracles, ladies and gentlemen? Because you really shouldn't after this. A Battle Royale is coming to Fallout 76. And when I played this game, I said, it feels so soulless. It feels so corporate. It feels like a boardroom came together and just went, what is the bare minimum amount of things that we can give people that seem like popular things that will get them to buy this game? That's what it felt like to me. And now they've added the most soulless corporate thing they could add to a game, Battle Royale. They've added a walking buzzword to their game. Fallout 76 tries to revitalize its audience by adding a Battle Royale mode to it. Sounds like it should be an article in The Onion. It sounds like the kind of thing that you would read on a joke website. But it's actually happening. And I want to come in here and say, yes, I played this thing right after it came out, and I played it for 10 hours because then it killed my PlayStation, and I didn't want to risk that anymore. But they said, you know what, this entire week is free. It's free this entire week. So I went, you know what, okay, fine. Maybe it has gotten better. Maybe there are things to do in here now. Maybe there's really cool stuff that you can do in this game. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to download that free demo because I threw that disc away. I just looked at that thing like a monkey's paw or some other cursed idol that would just do harm to other people, and I just went, you can't hurt anyone else now, and then just chucked it into the volcano. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating that a little bit much, but it's Bethesda. Exaggerating, doing absolutely nothing is kind of the theme here. So, I decided to re-download this, and I thought to myself, alright, maybe it has gotten better. And I picked up right where my old quest line had ended. And if you watched our review, you know I couldn't progress my quest line anymore because the game refused to tell me the correct location of where the next stop in that quest line was. It told me it was in Building A, and I explored Building A for hours and hours, every nook and cranny of that thing, and I couldn't find it. And what I actually needed to go to was about 5 buildings down, but it just kept telling me, nope, it's in this building, this one right here. I booted this thing back up. The quest marker was now in the correct building, and I will say this, it runs way smoother than it did. Before, it was jerking and glitching all over the place, to the point where I actually started getting nauseous playing this thing. Like, I've never gotten nauseous from a third-person game before, but man, this was really starting to make me sick just because of how glitchy it was. In fact, even when the little, like, achievement stuff would pop up, like the, oh, you finished this quest line, just the animation of the Pip-Boy guy jumping up there to say, aha, this has happened, and now we're starting this thing. Even that was glitchy. Now, it moves smoothly. I can actually walk around like you can in a video game. And when the little animations pop up, they pop up smoothly as well. And the markers are in the correct place, so that's alright. There's still a bunch of glitches in here. I remember I swapped to one gun, and it refused to focus. Like, you know how when you focus with a weapon, the sight will shrink to show you the exact point that you're going to shoot? It would never shrink on me, and I started to think to myself, oh, is that just what this gun does? The gun just can't do that? And then I swapped to a different weapon, then swapped back to that other weapon, and now it worked. So no, it's just, there's still just glitches in here. That's still a thing. After roughly 6 months, that's still just a thing, everyone. And I continued the quest that I had been on, and I spent 2 hours walking to one place. Then I walked to another place, and then I just got bored with that quest, and I went over to a side quest, and that side quest seemed like there was nothing to do either. And that was what I did in 2 hours. I ran into 3 groups of enemies, and after I killed them, which, by the way, the enemies still only occasionally react to your bullets. I mean, they'll take damage, but there is no animation for, oh, they've been hit. So unless you're just looking at their life bar, you don't actually know if you're doing any damage to them. They are just such walking cardboard cutouts. It still doesn't sound good. It still looks about the same as it did. It looks a little bit crisper, I'll give it that. But yeah, it's no longer killing my PlayStation. And some of the glitches are gone, so I'll bump it from a 1 to a 2.5. How's that sound? There, that's That's me trying to be nice on this one. But I will say that in my time playing this last night, I ran into a few other players who were at around level 2, 3, 4, so they were clearly people there for the free weekend. But I also ran into 2 people who were at level 56 and 64, I think it was. Like, they were high up there. And one of them stopped and waved hello to me. The other one completely ignored me, but one of them stopped and waved hello. And he wanted to join my group. I didn't do it because I was pretty much done with the game at that point. But I looked at this guy in a full suit of power armor, and he was trying to be friendly, and I was just thinking to myself, you know what? There are indeed people who are enjoying this game. I will give them that. There are people who are liking the game, and I don't want to come in here and crap on a game that other people are really enjoying. But guys, Bethesda really is just screwing you over on this. They are not providing you with a good game. They are providing you with just a big open space that costs $60 that you have to provide the fun for. And that's not worth $60. And I honestly can't think of a better way to sum up the divide between what Bethesda told us and what we have than the fact that I watched these streams over at the GameSpot channel. I watched that, and they had a group of people before the show even began talking about, what do you think they're going to do at this year's E3? What do you think Bethesda's going to announce? And one of the people there said, oh, Fallout 76 is going to be free to play. It has to be. It just makes sense that they're going to make Fallout 76 free to play because, let's be real, no one is buying copies of Fallout 76 anymore. No one. No one is going into the game store anymore, plopping down their $60 saying, I want a copy of Fallout 76. It just ain't happening. And they came in here and just went, this is the best, greatest, most amazing thing. We have the best audience. Everyone here is loving this game. Everyone thinks it's great. My mom told me it was great. Are you calling my mom a liar? No, she's not. This game is the best. That is what we got from the Bethesda show when literally the stream I was watching just 10 minutes before all this stuff had someone saying, no one's playing this game at all. No one is going to start playing this. Everyone knows it's bad. That is the divide between what Bethesda thinks it's giving us and what everyone sees them giving us. I mean, when they announced that Battle Royale, everyone in that theater just lost their mind. Everyone in that theater was foaming at the mouth. They started dancing in the aisles. Someone pulled out a cardboard box, chopped it up, put it on the ground, and started breakdancing and spinning on their head at the mere announcement of Battle Royale was going to be in Fallout. That's such a huge thing, I can't believe it. And meanwhile, everyone outside of that theater looked at that and went, you gotta be kidding me. The Battle Royale thing is dead. I mean, it's not dead, but it is dying. Everyone out there has pretty much realized Fortnite runs this. We can't compete with that. I have not seen any new Battle Royales try to start up in a while now. It seems like everybody has kind of just accepted, yeah, it's kind of done. Even Apex Legends, which everyone was like, this is going to be the Fortnite killer. Yeah, Apex Legends is already dropping massively while Fortnite still just remains at the top. It's not working. This is not the thing that is going to revitalize Fallout 76. As I said a moment ago, Fallout 76 tries to revitalize its crowd with a Battle Royale mode. Sounds like a joke. It doesn't sound real, and yet, after they announced that, they didn't just go, that's right, we're adding Battle Royale. They said, fuck yeah, we're adding Battle Royale. That's not a fuck yeah moment, man. It's almost like they were preemptively coming in here and just going, we know this is stupid, but we're embracing how stupid it is. And again, I re-download this demo. I re-download the game, so that way I could go in there and see how much it had changed, and that did include actually playing the Battle Royale mode. And I will admit, I don't really like Battle Royale games, but this one, it's not bad. I do like that you're put into teams. I don't like Battle Royales where you're just one person out there. If you're with a team, it does feel like you can play for a longer period of time. So that was kind of nice, and I do like that the random monsters in the Fallout world are there. It is kind of weird that there's no map that shows you where the Ring of Fire is encroaching upon, so you don't know where exactly you need to go. That's a little bit odd, but in an odd way that also adds a little bit of tension to it. It's still not polished. It still doesn't look like this was done on purpose. I will admit that this is all alpha stuff. This is not really as polished as it should be. But then again, neither is everything else in Fallout. Like, this is an alpha, but it felt like everything else that I've been playing in Fallout so far. It felt exactly like everything else in there. So, yeah, it was interesting. I'll give it that. It's so weird to me that the soulless corporate decision to just add in Battle Royale mode, because that's the buzzword, that's the thing that all the kids are talking about. Yeah, it's maybe the best thing in the entire game. That is so weird that the desperate last-ditch attempt to try and get people talking about this game that feels almost like a mod. I'll be totally honest with you, this feels like a mod someone made in the game. It does not feel like designers sat down and actually created something brand new in this. This feels like a mod. It's probably the best thing in the whole game. So I'll give it that. But yeah, I was expecting them to come out there and address the problems with Fallout, and instead they just said, yeah, we understand there's problems in it. And then they kept hyping it up like none of us remembered what the last year had been. And then they come in there with an announcement that I swear it feels like it had to have been a joke. And it wasn't a joke. It was the grim reality of this. And it's just so weird to see that level of disconnect. There is a big divide between the, oh, here's the fan base for this, and here's what it looks like to everyone else. And again, it's not like the people who think this is bad are just looking at it from the outside. A lot of us have played this thing, and a lot of us are really pissed and want our money back. In fact, I would like enough money for a new PlayStation, I'll just go ahead and say that, but I know I'm not getting it, so let's go ahead and let's move on to the next announcement that they made. Oh my god, how long did I talk about Fallout 76? Next, speaking of divides between what the fans think and what the rest of the world is seeing, Blades. Blades is coming to the Switch. And they came in here, and again, to rapturous applause, they announced that Blades was going to continue to be free on the Switch. That doesn't get you applause. It's a mobile game. It's a mobile game that is designed entirely to be full of microtransactions, so that way it is free, but it forces you to pay continuous amounts of money to continue playing this thing. That's not a good thing when that continues to be free. That is literally the least you could do. However, I will not talk too much about Blades, simply because, yeah, Fallout 76, I played that. I haven't played Blades, because I do not trust Blades in any way, shape, or form, and it doesn't look fun to me in any way, shape, or form, and nothing I have heard sounds fun. And I have seen some detailed videos about the problems with Blades, about how it is just another mobile game that is designed entirely to take your money or force you to sit around and wait as you do nothing in order to encourage you to continue spending money. And again, I'm not going to say I agree with those complaints because I haven't played the game, but I am going to say those complaints are clearly out there. A lot of people have expressed their problems with that, and at least with Fallout 76, they sort of addressed the fact that people weren't happy with this very quickly before brushing it under the rug all over again. They very quickly said, yes, we received some well-deserved criticism here, but with Blades, there was nothing. With Blades, they just went right back on the hype train. They just went right back into talking about, this is what you came here to see, right? You came here to see us talk more about our mobile game? Oh, yeah. And that was what continued from there on out. Because it wasn't just that. It was their mobile card game. We got a long-ass trailer for that. Not even trailer, just commercial. Because trailers at least get you hyped. This was literally just go and buy the thing. So yeah, we got something for that mobile game. And then we got something for Commander Keen. And let me just go ahead and say, I'm not a Commander Keen fan because I didn't even know what the heck that was. But again, I watched a lot of other people's reactions to try and gauge how other people felt about these shows. And a lot of people out there were big fans of Commander Keen. Again, I had never even heard of this thing, but apparently it had a strong fan base. And like, oh my god, Commander Keen is coming back? Which actually kind of makes sense considering that it was made by id Software, and apparently Bethesda is just going to remake everything that id Software has done. But every single one of those people that I saw who were excited about Commander Keen, they looked at this trailer and just went, what the heck is this? That's not Commander Keen. And then it's revealed it is a mobile game. Again. And let me just go ahead and say, I'm not coming in here and saying mobile games aren't real video games. No, I'm not going to do any of that gatekeeping crap. I'm not coming in here to say, well, the exact definition of a gamer is this. No, screw all that noise. I'm not going to do any of that because that argument is stupid. Mobile games are video games, all right? However, what I am going to come in here and say is, when I look at Bethesda's mobile games, I do not see people going, I want to make a video game, and I truly feel that the best way to make this in the modern era is to adapt it to a mobile game. I feel like that is the best platform for this game, and I feel like that is going to allow us to do exactly what we want to do with this video game. I don't see any of that. When I look at all the mobile games that Bethesda showed off, what I see is, this is the best way to make us a lot of money with almost no work. Because that's the reason why a lot of people are very negative on mobile games. A lot of them don't really have time or energy put into them. They just think of the best way to create something that is addictive to people on an easily accessible medium, so that way people can continuously get addicted and spend more and more money on, and that's entirely what I saw with Commander Keen. Because again, I didn't know what the original Commander Keen was, but apparently it was a platformer, and we saw that trailer that looked like a Saturday morning cartoon. It looked like a Johnny Test style Saturday morning cartoon, so not the best, but it was fast paced. It was a lot of action. There was a lot of crazy stuff happening there. So I was like, all right, you know what? If you want to provide us with a platformer that captures that sense of action, then fine, cool. But this is what we got in that trailer.
Comes from outer space to terrorize the human race. The Keens will helmet up real quick.
This was the gameplay that they showed off.
From household items to save the Earth from certain alien destruction. Drag and drop gadgets to summon allies, attack enemies, and move through the environment.
It was a lot of just really slow movements, slowly moving from one thing to the next, and the entire idea was you don't really control them, you more of just open up a menu and click the thing that you want in a menu. That is some lazy gameplay. However, when you have an entire menu full of items that you can open up, that means there are items to get, and some items might be better than others, and oh man, if you want that really good item, maybe it'll cost you a couple extra pennies. You know, not a whole lot, but you know, if you want a whole lot of them, then you know, you can buy a whole lot of them. I looked at that and I just saw the cheapest, most manipulative style of mobile game that I could imagine. Like, the action in there doesn't look good, the animation doesn't look good, the character designs look, alright, they're actually kind of fun, I'll give them that. Although, the character designs for the enemies really seem like they spent about 5 minutes on. Yeah, it looked like an incredibly basic game with sub-basic gameplay, because if they actually put in their really detailed gameplay, then they wouldn't have very easy ways to monetize it. That's why I have a big problem with all these mobile games I saw. I'm not seeing games that look like they were made that way to be fun. I'm seeing games that look like they were made that way to make them lots and lots of money. And I know you might be saying, well, Aaron, why are you getting so worked up about this? Commander Keen is obviously going to be a game for children. It doesn't even affect you in any way, shape, or form. Yes, you're right. When you look at that trailer, aside from one very oddly timed swear word that they decided to put in there, yes, it is clear that this is aimed at children. Which is another reason why I am so incredibly ticked off by this. Remember a moment ago when I said that Bethesda is making so many mobile games not because they believe that that's the best way to interpret these games, but because they know that mobile games are easily addictive and they know that they can easily manipulate their audience into giving them money again and again and again with mobile games? Do you know what demographic is the most easily targeted for mobile game manipulation? Children! There have been so many articles and studies done about this that have shown that children are the most easily manipulated group out there when it comes to mobile games. And that's exactly why they're doing this. Bethesda isn't bringing Commander Keen back and making it a mobile game because they believe, oh no, this is a property that really does speak to an audience out there, and we believe that as a mobile game, that is the best way to bring it back to life. That is the best way to interpret this classic property that everyone was asking for. No, it's because they looked at all the IPs that they own, saw the one that seemed like it could most easily be aimed at children, and that's why they're turning it into a mobile game, because they know know that children can either use their parents' money without their parents knowing it because they don't have the willpower yet or the understanding of finances to stop themselves from spending money over and over and over again, or they can go to their parents and ask them for money again and again, and it's harder for parents to tell their children no than it is for parents to tell a random mobile game no. Yes, this game is being aimed at children, and it's not because Bethesda thinks this game is great for kids, it's because they're trying to be a manipulative scumbag. And I know there's gonna be somebody in the comments saying, oh, well, it's not Bethesda that's making Commander Keen, it's id Software that's making Commander Keen. Yes, but both id Software and Bethesda are owned by their parent company, ZeniMax. So when I say Bethesda, I really mean ZeniMax, because they're the ones who are very clearly telling all their companies now, okay, this is what we want you to do. This is what brings us the most money. That's what you have to now entirely focus on. And that's another thing that makes me really sad about this. Because it looked like with Bethesda, they were getting hit hard by ZeniMax telling them to go in this mobile direction or to go in this live services direction. But it looks like with id Software, hey, Doom was great. Wolfenstein was really good. It looks like those were two great revitalizations of their old franchises. So it looks like id Software is okay. They're somehow getting out scot-free from all this. And then we found out that Rage 2 was coming back, even though no one really cared about Rage 1. So that was a little bit odd, but okay, I'm sure that's just, you know, they took a chance with something, and I'm sure that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that they're just scraping the bottom of the barrel of whatever franchises they own to just try and bring them back to get more of that Doom money. No, they probably just had an idea. I'm sure that's all it is, and, you know, the idea, maybe it panned out, maybe it didn't. But with this, with a Commander Keen mobile game aimed at children, I look at that and I go, yeah, ZeniMax has now taken control. ZeniMax is now back in there and saying, all right, here's the game plan from here on out. This is pretty much confirmation that what we have seen happen to Bethesda is now going to start happening to all their id Software properties. And if it turns out that when Doom Eternal comes out, it's loaded with microtransactions and loot box and a mobile game tie-in, I'm not going to be entirely surprised. And after that, the only other thing that Bethesda themselves had been working on that they had to talk about was a new update to Elder Scrolls Online, which I don't play that. I don't play massive multiplayer online roleplay games, so if you're into that, then cool, that's fine. Although I will say, when they said, yes, there will be dragons in it, I kind of felt that way that people who didn't play Fallout 76 felt when they announced that NPCs were going to be in there. Like, wait, there weren't already? It's Elder Scrolls Online. There weren't dragons in there? But they decided to show off the new update with a long cinematic trailer. And man, cinematic trailers can be fun for announcing things, but they have to kind of be short. They have to be right there to the point. And this thing went on and on and on. And I thought, if it's going on for this long, then they are going to definitely show us some gameplay. No, there was none. So, hey, if you're a fan of Elder Scrolls Online, then that cinematic trailer was probably great for you. So wonderful, perfect. I'm so glad that you got that thing. Because I think about the stuff out there that I enjoy. You know, like, I'm a big Persona fan. It's probably my favorite franchise of all time. If Persona 6 got announced and it was just a big cutscene announcement, I would be happy with it, but again, this thing went on for minutes, and if your cutscene thing that's just there to announce your new game goes on for minutes without any actual gameplay, yeah, I kind of feel a little bit weird about it. I mean, think about like the Elden Scrolls or Elden Rings announcement that we saw at Microsoft. I'm a huge Hidetaka Miyazaki fan, and I was excited to see this thing get announced. But that trailer went on for maybe a minute and a half tops. This thing went on and on and on and on. And I wonder if the Hidetaka Miyazaki game had gone on for like 3, 4, 5 minutes. I wonder if I would have looked at it and been like, okay, for the love of God, just seriously show us something. Which is how I was feeling at this thing. But again, I'm not the fan base for that one. And there is a fan base for that one. And it doesn't sound like that fan base has been screwed over like the Fallout 76 fan base or the Blades fan base. I'm sorry, there's no Blades fan base. Yeah, I'm rambling at this point. You know what, guys? You know what? I need a break. I do. That's all the stuff at this show that I thought was the bad stuff. That's the stuff that I was blown away by, just the arrogance, by just the total lack of connection with the people out there outside of that auditorium. I was just, I just flames on the side of my face. I just couldn't deal with it. So you know what we're gonna do? I was trying to decide, am I gonna use the happy logo or the mad logo on this one? We've been going for so long, I'm taking a break. We will be back later today with part 2 of the Bethesda conference. And that one, I'm gonna talk about the stuff I'm actually excited about. I'm gonna talk about the good stuff in there. But holy crap, I really just had to get this out of my system. So, thank you guys very much, and come back in a couple hours to see a very different version of me. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and follow us on Twitter over at ThorgE's Arcade or at Professor ThorgE on Twitch so you know when we're going live. And you can watch the live reactions that we had at each of these conferences over at twitch.tv/Professor ThorgE. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll see you in a bit. Oh my gosh.